everybody, what's up? Welcome back to Kneading with Franco. Today I'm gonna show you the best recipe to make an amazing Neapolitan style pizza in a home oven. Wait, what? Did you say home oven? It's incredible, right? Follow the recipe till the end to find out how to cook pizza in 3 different ways. I'm gonna show you how to make the pizza with a normal pizza stone, with a specific stone made of clay, and the third one as a bonus, you don't need any equipment whatsoever. I'm gonna show you how to make the perfect Neapolitan pizza just by using the normal tray that you use every day in your regular oven. Just flip it upside down. Hang on a minute, there must be a secret that you're not telling me, right? Actually, yes, there are 2 secrets. The first one is high hydration dough. This is absolutely necessary if you want to make sure to preserve the softness of the pizza, although you're cooking in a regular home oven. The reason for it is that the home oven cannot reach high temperatures. Therefore, the pizza will take longer to cook. By increasing the hydration, you make sure that your final pizza, is just as soft as a normal Neapolitan style pizza cooked in a professional oven. And the second one is, which is the most important one, actually I'm not going to tell you. You have to keep on watching this video if you want to find out. This is a big one, huh? The second secret is biga, a pre-fermentation technique. For the biga, we're gonna need 515 grams of flour, and I'm using a Petra 5037, which is pretty strong flour. It has a W of 340, and 13 grams of protein. I recommend to use a strong flour for this purpose. We're gonna need 4 grams of yeast, a spoon, a fork, and 245 grams of water. One of the best advantages of the biga is that it's gonna help us improve the final texture of the dough, making a huge cornicione. Let's start by dissolving the yeast inside the water using the spoon. And once it's dissolved, let's pour it into the flour all at once. And let's use a fork, but not like that, in a perpendicular way. Let's start stirring gently until all the flour is blended in. Keep on stirring, like that. Keep on stirring until the flour is all incorporated and the water is all absorbed. Let's now use our hands, but not like that as if you're using some tongs. Let's just use our hands to mix the rest of the flour and to be sure that every single piece of water is absorbed. And once this is done, we can take the huge chunks and rip it into small pieces to avoid creating the gluten network. This is how our biga should look like. Let's now move it into a container covered with a silicone lid, and let's leave it to rest for 16 hours at room temperature. This is our biga after 16 hours. As you can see, it did not raise in size, and it has a really nice texture and a really nice smell. Let's now proceed with the master dough. For the master dough, we're going to use the biga, of course, 340 grams of flour. In this case, I'm using Molino Dalla Giovanna, but I don't recommend using this type of flour for the hydration that we're using. It's just that it cannot hold that much water. We're going to use 25 grams of salt, 10 grams of honey to help the bacteria contained in the yeast to keep on eating the sugars of the dough, and 370 grams of cold water. The very first thing that we're going to do is to cut the biga in small chunks using the scissors in order to facilitate its absorption during the kneading process. Let's now take a scale and weigh 10 grams of honey. And use a spoon to completely dissolve it into the water. After that, let's proceed by adding the rest of the ingredients, starting with the flour first. Let's add all the water all at once, and let's take a spoon and start gently stirring to blend in all the ingredients. Let's keep on stirring, like that, and then add the salt. Incorporate the salt inside the dough, and keep on stirring using the spoon. Now we're ready to use our hands. By repeating this movement a couple of times, let's take the dough from the edges and let's push it gently towards the center. I now want you to take particular attention at the movement that I'm doing. I am beating the dough against the inside of the container. This greatly helps to make the dough smooth and helps with high hydration dough in particular. Keep on beating it for a couple of times. Again, keep on beating it until it becomes smoother. Let's now cover the container with a plate and let's leave it to rest for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, let's make sure that our hands are wet and let's remove the plate. Let's have a look at the gluten network. It's still too weak, so the dough needs more work. Let's keep on beating up the dough against the inside of the container for 3 or 4 times. Repeat this operation until the dough becomes smoother. And now I want to show you a secret. Let's move our dough for 15 minutes in the fridge. This will help, especially when the dough has a high hydration, like in this case, to better manipulate it. After 15 minutes, take a look at the gluten network. Beautiful, it's already developed, you see? It's now time to give a little bit of more strength to our dough. So let's pour some olive oil on the worktop and let's prepare to do a lamination. Let's remove the dough from the container. And just to remind you, the lamination is the process by which we give more strength to the dough by lengthen it, by extend it onto the worktop until it rips. Repeat the lamination for 2 or 3 times. It will greatly help to make the dough stronger, especially in these cases where the dough is extremely hydrated. Once you finish to do the lamination, before starting to folding back in, leave your dough to rest for 1 or 2 minutes. Let's now fold it back in, like this. And you can already notice under your fingers that the dough is much better. Let's do also some slap and fold technique, and let's keep on kneading it for a little bit, using our wrists. Try to be as fast as possible because the dough is really wet. If your dough is too wet and you don't manage to get a hold of it, don't get discouraged. Use an ice scraper and do some roundings. As if it was magic, you will see that by keep on doing some roundings with the scraper, the dough will get much smoother. The more you do it, the more the pieces of dough will detach from the worktop. Let's keep on kneading it and let's use the ice scraper to remove the sticky dough from the worktop. It's now time for our last stop of 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, let's have a look at the texture of our dough. Let's do our window pane test. Look at that, the gluten network is finally ready. We managed, guys. It was hard, but we managed. Some more slap and fold to make our dough a little bit smoother. Some more roundings with the scraper, and now our dough is ready to go to the container for the final proofing inside the fridge for 24 hours. Let's sprinkle some oil inside the container and let's spray some olive oil on top of the dough as well. This will prevent the dough from getting dry inside the fridge. Cover your container with the lid and let's move it to the fridge for 24 hours. After 24 hours in the fridge, let's have a look at our beautiful dough. It has raised in size, so it's now time to proceed with the balling up. Let's start sprinkling some semolina flour on the worktop. Let's detach our dough from the inside of the container. It's going to be easier thanks to the olive oil. And let's start cutting in smaller chunks our dough and let's weigh it to reach 250 grams. Now take the chunks of the dough and let's create a ball by moving from the edges towards the center. Let's pinch the bottom to trap the gases of the fermentation. Let's do some roundings. And that's it. Our dough ball is ready. Let's move it inside the container. Here, as a bonus, I'm showing you another technique to make the dough ball. We're going to use just some slap and fold technique. Do the first slap and fold. Another time. A couple of more times, and then some roundings to make the dough to make the dough ball look rounded. Let's pinch the bottom as well to trap the gases of the fermentation, and that's it. Done. Our dough balls are ready. Look at them, they're beautiful. Let's leave them to raise at room temperature for 5 hours. Let's have a look at the temperature of the oven. Yup, looks like we're ready. Stop! Do you like the video so far? Don't forget to hit the like button below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. New content is coming every week for you. You can also find me on Instagram as Kneading with Franco. Very specific content is uploaded every day for you. After 5 hours at room temperature, this is how the dough balls should look like. Look at them, they are full of air, ready to be stretched. Let's sprinkle some semolina flour to help the extraction of the dough ball from the inside of the container. Let's use a spatula. Once this is removed from the container, let's move it on top of a tray full of semolina flour. A little bit more semolina flour on the top. And let's start push gently the air towards the edges to create a beautiful cornicione. Once we do that a couple of times, let's flip the dough over. And let's keep on pushing on the other side. After your pizza has reached the size of the tray where you were stretching it, it's now time to remove the excess of semolina flour. Let's move it to your fist. Let's flip it a couple of times, and that's it. Our pizza is stretched. Let's sprinkle some semolina flour on top of the paddle. And now with a spoon, let's put some tomato sauce on top of our pizza. Not too much. Let's now move it onto the pizza peel and then start enlarging it, but without touching the cornicione. And after you do that, let's make sure to blow up the small bubbles, otherwise they get burnt inside the oven. Let's launch our pizza inside our home oven and let's spray the cornicione with some water. This will help the cornicione not to create the crust immediately and will help it to raise. Leave the pizza to cook for 4 minutes without the mozzarella on top and turn it from time to time. After 4 minutes, let's extract our pizza from the oven. As you can see, look at the cornicione, it's already beautiful. And let's put some mozzarella on top without exaggerating as I did. Let's now move our pizza back into the oven for the last 2 minutes to let the mozzarella melt. This is the amazing result after 6 minutes in total. Let's complete it with some basil. Okay, the moment of truth. Let's cut it. Obviously scrunchy, but it's also soft thanks to biga. Oh my god, look at this, guys. Look at the spider web inside. Oh my god, and this is just with the home oven. It's incredible. I cannot believe it myself. Take a look at that. It's unbelievable. Look. And now, let's taste it. It's unbelievable. I don't know how I managed to make this dough and this super perfect dough and to cook it so good in just a home oven. It's unbelievable. Here I'm showing you the second technique to cook our perfect Neapolitan style pizza in a home oven. This time we're gonna use a pizza stone and the toppings are different. We're gonna use a cacio and pepe sauce. Same thing as before, make sure to spray a little bit of water on top of the cornicione to help it to raise. And after 6 minutes, this is our beautiful pizza. The internal structure is just perfect. You don't have any clay stone and you don't have any pizza stone? Don't worry, you can just cook your pizza on top of a normal tray, just move it upside down. Your pizza will be just as good. Take a look at that. Perfect, without any equipment whatsoever. And this was the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching it. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Plenty of new videos are coming soon for you. You can also find me on Instagram as Kneading with Franco. But before you go, I want to ask you one question. Did you like biga method? Are you gonna use it for your next pizza? Let me know in the comments below, and see you next time.